Okay, we are live. I'm here
everybody.
with Chef Honor. We're going to have her morning breakfast scramble. I get to share her with you guys. I'm going to just check and make sure that we're in frame, okay?
Sure, absolutely.
So I have to go back and forth because
everybody.
we are our own camera people today.
We're capable. We can do it.
We can do this.
All right. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. I've been making this kind of breakfast scramble for myself for the last couple of weeks because I'm really focused on my own journey with brain health and bringing you guys the best quality of food. So,
well, and my community is always asking for super simple stuff.
yes.
That they can do quickly.
Yes.
Now, not all kids will eat everything in this. I understand that. It's a process. It's a journey. Our kid eats all of these veggies and greens and things like that, but she didn't always. It's a journey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you about things we can replace and swap out and switch and stuff like that as we go too.
Absolutely.
But bottom line is this is quick. I saw her make this before and it's unbelievably delicious and nutritious. So let's do it.
Okay, awesome. So what I do is I take my favorite veggies. I love yams because I know they boost serotonin, which makes you feel all good and lovey. Onions, which are awesome for immunity and detoxing. And I'm learning all this awesome stuff. Mushrooms. I love to use creminis, which are baby portobellos, and shiitakes, which look like this. They're generally about this size. And they have a woody stem, so you want to take that off actually before you cook them and just chop them up. And the creminis and some eggs and spinach, and I have the recipe online so you can check out. There's two different ways to do it. You can either throw it all in a skillet and throw it in the oven for like 20-25 minutes.
So just put the whole skillet in the oven.
I like to do that. What I do is I wait and I add the eggs and the spinach towards the end, or you can honestly just throw it all in there together like a scramble, a frittata. And I throw it in the oven while I'm getting ready because it makes my life easier.
See, so I want you to hear this because everyone says I don't have time, I don't have time. Literally, this would take you 3-4, if you don't cook at all, 5 minutes to chop up.
Yeah, super
because
easy.
you don't have to chop this up. And then you put it in while you're getting ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then I also throw in my favorite spices. I love to use cinnamon and smoked paprika. Cinnamon is awesome.
That's such a different twist.
Yes, cinnamon is awesome for your memory. It's awesome for regulating attention span, regulating blood sugar. So yeah, I throw it all in the oven. You can also do it stovetop, and I have a step-by-step procedure for that as well.
And it's just a scramble, basically.
Yeah, and you can do that, or you can poach an egg if you want to get it a little fancy. I like yolks sometimes, so that's a great way to do it. And so yeah, I just make a beautiful skillet like this. This is about for 2 people, and
it's delicious.
It's amazing.
So let me go over a couple things.
Sure.
Because we have a lot of people who are vegans.
Yes.
So you could use tofu.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tofu or just veggies if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you want the protein, we recommend breakfast, you start with protein.
Yes.
So you could totally add tofu to that. If you had leftover quinoa, you could throw some quinoa in there, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, sorry about that.
Oh, that's the breakfast gods, they're calling.
Let me just...
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, so anyways,
welcome to our mornings.
you are in our, it's a busy morning in the Amen residence. So
We'll get one more. It's
get one
usually
more,
just 4.
and then it goes
Okay,
away.
we're back.
So, anyways, we what I like about this is if you've read the Brain Warriors Way cookbook, I in every chapter talk about ways for you to save time and save money. Clearly, this is a time-saving great breakfast, but it's also a money-saving breakfast, and I'll tell you why. One of the reasons people talk about it being expensive to eat healthy is because there's so much waste, because most people don't plan their menus. They go randomly buy like a certain amount of greens and a certain amount of, because it's the produce that's expensive when you're buying really healthy produce and organic and stuff like that.
Right.
They don't measure what they're going to need for the week, which you can do. You can actually buy programs to help you, put in your menu. And in fact, on my website, tanaamen.com, the recipes have a program on there. They'll measure out how much you need to buy. That will help you. But at the end of the week, if you've got stuff left over, you don't have to stick to what she's got here. This is what she uses. This is what she likes. But let's just say you've got kale left over instead of spinach.
Yep.
Let's just say you want to throw some garlic in there, which is great for immunity during cold season. Definitely, we up our garlic a lot. Or you've got sweet potatoes instead of yams. Whatever, okay? Your kid doesn't like mushrooms, but they like quinoa. Okay, just switch it out. So be creative, don't be afraid to play. The concept is throw it all in and scramble it. If you're vegan, use the tofu.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I really like about it, is that you can use whatever is left over. If you wanted to throw in some chicken or turkey, whatever it is you want to do instead of eggs, whatever it is.
Sure.
Okay.
Some chickpeas.
So we're always trying to make life easier. Just be creative, throw it in there. I love this idea of throwing it in 20 minutes, go get ready.
Yep.
She's already, played with the time for you, so you know how long to leave it. And that works really well. And then let's talk a little bit about why these are great. You mentioned that this is really good for boosting your serotonin.
Right.
Okay, so yams and sweet potatoes are good for boosting serotonin because of the carbohydrates. But did you know that if you do yams and sweet potatoes with the skin on, that's more fiber than a bowl of oatmeal? But you've got to do them organic. If you're going to have them with the skin on them, then you need to get them organic, because most of the pesticides are held in that layer just between the skin and the actual sweet potato or yam. Okay, so really important, and that way that saved you time. You didn't have to skin it. We don't want you to have to take that time, because that's actually really good for you. Just make sure you're getting it organic. Definitely. Same thing, so really good. Vitamin D. We want you getting your vitamin D, and you've got vitamin D in your greens. You've got iron, you've got all these different, vitamin A, beta carotene, and all of this stuff. And so it's going to really boost your immunity. It's going to boost, especially during cold season. Vitamin D, if you're low in vitamin D, you're not only going to get sick more often, but it makes you more inclined, more prone during the winter months to be depressed. So this is going to really not only boost your mood, it's going to boost your energy. Everything you put on the end of your fork matters.
And I learned something new this week. I'm very proud of this. It's a big word. Acetylcholine?
Yes, acetylcholine. Yes.
Okay, I'm learning. It's in eggs, and it is amazing for your memory.
It is.
Which clearly I need to eat more eggs. It is amazing for your brain.
Yeah, it's in shrimp, it's in eggs, it's in liver. Most people don't eat liver. But yes, it's very, very good for you.
Yeah.
So, very good. So, we had a question.
Yes.
Separate from this.
Yes.
On the last video we had you on about your seizures.
Yes.
Someone asked if you ever found out that it was related to aspartame.
They wanted to know if it was related to aspartame. I honestly don't know. I actually ended up having a second seizure 6 months later when it was determined it was definitely seizures. And they still couldn't figure it out. There was nothing wrong with me. I don't know what happened, but I literally just engaged full steam ahead to find out what I can do to prevent, to just take care of myself. So what I've chosen is the healthiest route possible, and just being good to my brain, my body, getting good sleep, which is super important.
So you cut out aspartame. You haven't had seizures since, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I've definitely changed up the way I eat. I don't eat like fast food, drive-through fast food. I really try to watch my sugar, which is my personal
funny thing, when you started working for us, you said you lost a bunch of weight.
Oh, that's another thing too. So this is all part of me, is that I've been back as the corporate chef of Amen Clinics for a year now, and I've lost 20 pounds.
And you ate healthy before.
And I did. I ate healthy, but my demon is sugar. And so when I really watched it and cut it out, I immediately, in the first 2 weeks that I came back, I dropped 7 pounds, and I am sure that's inflammation.
So in Omni Diet, I talk about losing... lose up to 12 pounds in 2 weeks.
Right.
It's not a weight loss thing, it's the inflammation.
No, it literally was. Like, I could see my fingers were back to normal, my belly was back to normal.
Right.
Like, I could just feel the difference. My brain fog was gone. It's
really important.
Yeah.
So you can find this recipe at tanaamen.com. I want to make sure I add that, tanaamen.com. This recipe will be on there. But I want to add one thing back to your seizures. If you are curious why aspartame is of the devil. So, by the way, up to 80% of complaints to the FDA, to their reporting, they have a hotline for reporting. Up to 80% of the complaints about food to the FDA, all food, is about things that contain aspartame. So, Dr. Russell Blaylock, B-L-A-Y-L-O-C-K, Blaylock, he was a neurosurgeon who, when he retired, dedicated, because of all the stuff he saw doing neurosurgery, he then turned his career into writing about things, ingredients in food. Mostly aspartame, but things like MSG, aspartame, yeah, no, really important. He's got a great website, and I've actually seen him speak at some of the classes that I take, and where I've actually spoken myself at A4M. He's amazing, and he's got some books out. He also has his website. He's got a ton of information on ingredients like aspartame and MSG. Yeah, no, really important.
Yeah.
So, and how they're connected to things like brain disorders, MS symptoms, seizure disorders, things like that. So highly recommend that if you are struggling.
Awesome.
So go try this recipe. Let us know what you think. TanaAmen.com. You can get the recipe. Have a great day.
Bye. We'll see you soon.